Acrux is the brightest star in the southern constellation of Crux. With a combined visual magnitude of plus 0.76, it's the 13th brightest star in the night sky. The system is incredibly complicated and has some astonishingly fascinating photographs associated with it, not to mention the possibility of 3 independent supernova events. Hi everyone, Vega here, and in today's video we go back down under to focus on one of the most incredible and frankly crazy systems in our local vicinity, Acrux, Alpha Crucis. So let's get to it. First of all, in some channel news, after 3 years of videos we've now reached the milestone of 3,000 watch hours in a year, and this means you can now join our channel as a member. It comes along with a few perks like having your name alongside the stars in our end credits, and at the moment some customised loyalty badges for you to use alongside your comments in the chat. Plus it also gives you an extra opportunity to chat with me in our membership community, and perhaps suggest a few videos we could make. So if any folks do fancy joining up, that'd be amazing. But likewise, there's no requirement at all to do so either. I've said it before, but probably worth reiterating at this point too, that I intend to keep Vega Astro's primary raison d'etre to be a place where all of us can discuss and learn about the stars, together, for the foreseeable long-term future. Anyhow, let's get back to Acrux, which is of course why we're all here. Acrux, or Alpha Crucis, is the most southerly star of the asterism known as the Southern Cross, and curiously, it's the southernmost first magnitude star, lying some 2.3 degrees more southerly than Alpha Centauri. The system is located at a distance of 321 light-years from the Sun. To the naked eye, Acrux appears as a single star, but it's actually a multiple star system containing at least 6 components. It starts to get really interesting when we observe it through optical telescopes. Acrux appears as a triple star, whose 2 brightest components are visually separated by about 4 arcseconds, and are known as Alpha Crucis A1 and A2. Both components are B-type stars, and are many times more massive and luminous than the Sun. Alpha Crucis A1 is the star that's officially named as Acrux, historically the name of the entire system, and the name Acrux for the star Acrux A1 was approved on the 20th of July in 2016. However, Acrux A1 itself is actually a spectroscopic binary star, and the other part of the spectroscopic binary is now known as Alpha Crucis AB, which is thought to have a mass of 10 suns. Its 2 component stars orbit each other every 76 days, at a separation of about 1 astronomical unit. It gets more complicated. HR 4729, also known as Acrux C, is a more distant companion that forms a triple star through a small telescope. C is also a spectroscopic binary itself, which brings the total number of stars in the system to at least 5. The historical name Acrux for Alpha 1 Crucis is an Americanism coined in the 19th century, but entering common use only by the mid-20th century. Since Acrux is at -63 degrees declination, it's only visible south of latitude 27 degrees north. It barely rises from cities such as Miami, United States, or Karachi, Pakistan, and not at all from New Orleans or Cairo, which are both about 30 degrees north. The star is also known as the Estrella de Magallanes, or Star of Magellan in Portuguese. Alpha Crucis A1, or Acrux, is magnitude plus 1.4, and A2 is magnitude plus 2.09, and both are early class B stars with surface temperatures of about 28,000 and 26,000 respectively. Their luminosities are 25,000 and 16,000 times that of the Sun. A1 and A2 orbit over such a long period that motion is only barely seen. The pairing have a minimum separation of 430 astronomical units, and the period is estimated to be around 1500 years. The masses of Alpha Crucis A2 and the brighter component Alpha Crucis A1, or Acrux, suggest that the stars will someday explode as supernova. Component Alpha Crucis AB, and that's the second star in the A1 system that includes Acrux, may also perform electron capture in the degenerate oxygen plus neon plus magnesium core, and it too could also trigger a supernova explosion, otherwise it would become a massive white dwarf. So what we're talking about is the potential for as many as 3 separate supernova explosions within the same stellar system, which I hope you can agree is quite incredibly exceptional. It means the system has a very, very violent future. That said, there is also a cooler, less luminous B-class star, known technically as HD 108-250, that lies 90 arcseconds away from the triple star system Alpha Crucis. The star shares its motion through space with the main system, and this suggests it may be gravitationally bound to it, and therefore generally assumed to be physically associated. Once again, it itself is also a spectroscopic binary system, and it's sometimes catalogued as component C or Acrux C of the Acrux multiple system. And another fainter visual companion is listed as a component D or Acrux D. I'm sure you can appreciate at this stage, the system is incredibly complicated. Not only this, but a further 7 faint stars are also listed as companions out to a distance of about 2 arc minutes. Of course, in culture, Acrux is represented in the flags of Australia, New Zealand, Samoa and Papua New Guinea as one of 5 stars that compose the Southern Cross, and the system is actually approximating our solar system at 11 kilometers a second, and so will slightly brighten over the coming millennia. We can use Acrux and also the star of Acrux or Gamma Crucis as a pointer by drawing a line through the 2 stars to the south celestial pole. Interestingly, we see some other prominent stars in the southern skies. In this image of Achenar and Mira Placidus, alongside the small and large Magellanic Cloud dwarf galaxies. When writing this video, it did come to my attention that Acrux is actually an incredible system to photograph, and I've hence named it the Photogenic system. Let's now take a minute to appreciate some of the incredible imagery you can find on the internet celebrating this incredible system. First of all, from 2008, in this amazing image actually taken from the Cassini probe in orbit around the planet Saturn, we can just about make out the 2 principal stars as separate, just underneath the giant planet's disk. We do see another star in the picture, and this is a fainter companion, Alpha Crucis C. If we look a little closer in this depiction, we see a clearer distinction between the principal stars, and again the third Alpha Crucis C in the picture. Finally, in this final image of the system, taken with a lower resolution telescope and more akin to perhaps what an animator might see, we see again the main system as 1 star, and the less luminous HD 108250, also known of course as Alpha Crucis C, clearly less luminous and somewhat smaller than the main pairing. Acrux is an incredibly complicated star system in the southern hemisphere's Crux constellation, and the most southerly first magnitude star of all. An incredible at least 6-star system, it ranks 13th brightest in our skies and lies 321 light years away. 3 of the principal stars could all go potentially supernova in the future, and the system is indeed heading in our direction. A set of incredible images show clearly the separation within the system of some of the individual entities. One day in the future, the main stars will explode, leaving the less luminous Alpha Crucis C to continue its journey into the cosmos, possibly surrounded by 3 dead stellar remnants of a once proud, blue-white B-class star system. Thanks for watching, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you'd like to support the channel further, you could consider joining the channel and becoming a member, or alternatively buying me a coffee, and I'll link this in the description. Thanks to those of you who have already done so, and if you have any videos or subjects you'd like to see brought to life, don't forget to let me know in the comments below, and it could be your idea next week that shows up. Take good care of yourselves and look after your friends and family well, and I'll see you on the next one.